Las Vegas, a city of dreams, a city of illusions. The strip pulsed with a vibrant energy. Neon lights painted the desert sky. Shauna Tiaffay, a young woman from a small town, was captivated. She had come to Vegas seeking excitement, opportunity, and a break from her traditional upbringing. Las Vegas promised it all. She was ready to reinvent herself, to embrace the unknown. The city welcomed her with open arms, its allure almost impossible to resist. Shauna was a bright, beautiful young woman with a warm smile and a kind heart. She had a strong work ethic and an even stronger desire to make something of herself. She quickly found work as a dancer, her natural grace and beauty captivating audiences. The stage lights became her spotlight, her costumes a shimmering second skin. She was living a dream, or so it seemed. Behind the glitz and glamour, however, lurked a darker side to the city. Beneath the surface of endless parties and easy money, danger often hid in plain sight. Shauna, blinded by the lights and the promise of a new life, remained oblivious to the shadows lurking just around the corner. She was young and full of hope, trusting in the good in people. But fate, it seemed, had other plans for her. George J. Tiaffay was older, a successful businessman with an air of confidence and sophistication. He was drawn to Shauna's beauty and vivacity. She represented the excitement he craved in his life. Their connection was instant, electric, fueled by the energy of the city they both called home. He showered her with gifts, compliments, and promises of a life beyond her wildest dreams. Shauna, smitten by his charm and generosity, fell quickly. George represented stability and security, a stark contrast to the unpredictable world she navigated. He was her rock, or so she believed. He proposed under the dazzling lights of the Bellagio fountains, a scene straight out of a fairy tale. Shauna, swept off her feet, said yes without a moment's hesitation. Their wedding was a lavish affair, a testament to their love and George's extravagant lifestyle. Friends and family flew in, caught up in the whirlwind romance. Shauna, radiant in white, truly believed she had found her happily ever after. The desert night shimmered with the promise of their future together. Married life, however, was a stark contrast to the fairy tale beginning. George's controlling nature began to surface. He was possessive, jealous, and prone to fits of rage. The man who had showered her with affection now showered her with accusations and insults. Shauna, caught off guard, found herself walking on eggshells, trying to appease his every whim. The extravagant gifts continued, but they felt more like gilded cages than tokens of love. George's possessiveness intensified. He monitored her every move, controlled her finances, and isolated her from her friends and family. He belittled her dreams, chipping away at her self-esteem. The vibrant, independent woman who had arrived in Vegas was slowly fading away. Shauna found herself trapped in a nightmare. The man she loved, the man she had vowed to spend her life with, had become her tormentor. Fear became her constant companion. She tried to talk to him, to reason with him, but her words fell on deaf ears. George was convinced she was hiding something, his paranoia fueling his abuse. On a sweltering September morning in 2001, Shauna Tiaffay disappeared. She vanished without a trace, leaving behind her car, her belongings, and a trail of unanswered questions. Her family, frantic with worry, contacted the Las Vegas police. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, but there was no sign of Shauna. The investigation seemed to stall, lost in the labyrinthine streets of Las Vegas. George, her husband, became the prime suspect. His behavior was erratic, his stories inconsistent. He claimed Shauna had left him, that she had grown tired of their life together, but her family refused to believe it. Shauna would never abandon her loved ones, not without a word. They knew in their hearts that something terrible had happened. The police, however, needed more than a gut feeling. They needed evidence, and George, a skilled manipulator, had covered his tracks well. he hired a high-profile lawyer, proclaiming his innocence to anyone who would listen. The investigation dragged on, fueled by whispers and speculation. Shauna's family refused to give up hope, clinging to the belief that one day they would find out what happened to their beloved daughter. Whispers followed George like a shadow. The community, once captivated by their whirlwind romance, now viewed him with suspicion. The more the police investigated, the more inconsistencies they uncovered in George's story. His alibi crumbled under scrutiny. Witnesses came forward, painting a picture of a volatile marriage, of George's controlling behavior, and Shauna's growing fear. The investigation took a turn when a bloody mattress was discovered in a dumpster. Forensic testing confirmed the blood belonged to Shauna. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community. The glamorous facade of George's life began to crack, revealing the monster lurking beneath. The evidence was mounting, painting a grim picture of what had happened that fateful September morning. Despite the mounting evidence, George maintained his innocence. He claimed the bloodstains were from a nosebleed, a desperate attempt to explain away the gruesome discovery. But the police weren't buying it. They had him in their sights, their suspicions growing with each passing day. The net was closing in, and George knew it. The truth, as it often does, emerged slowly, painstakingly pieced together from a puzzle of circumstantial evidence, witness testimonies, and forensic analysis. The investigation revealed a chilling narrative of jealousy, rage, and ultimately murder. George, consumed by his own demons, had taken the life of the woman he claimed to love. He had strangled her in a fit of jealous rage, his anger fueled by his own insecurities and paranoia. Afterward, he had wrapped her body in the blood-soaked mattress and disposed of it in a dumpster, hoping to erase all traces of his crime. But he had underestimated the determination of the police and the unwavering love of Shauna's family. The trial was a media frenzy. The prosecution presented a compelling case, laying bare the details of George's abusive behavior and the events leading up to Shauna's murder. The defense, however, argued that the evidence was circumstantial, that the police had rushed to judgment, blinded by their suspicion of George. The jury, faced with the weight of evidence and the heart-wrenching testimony of Shauna's family, deliberated for days. The courtroom was silent, the air thick with anticipation. After days of agonizing deliberation, the jury reached a verdict: guilty. George J. Harrowing was convicted of first-degree murder. A collective gasp filled the courtroom. Justice, though long delayed, had finally been served. For Shauna's family, it was a bittersweet victory, a vindication of their unwavering belief in her and their tireless fight for the truth. The judge, visibly moved by the brutality of the crime and the strength of Shauna's family, sentenced George to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As he was led away in handcuffs, a sense of relief washed over the courtroom. Shauna's memory would live on, not as a victim, but as a symbol of strength and resilience. The trial may have ended, but Shauna's story continued to resonate. Her family, determined to turn their grief into action, established the Shauna Tiaffay Foundation, their mission to raise awareness about domestic violence, support victims, and advocate for justice. They channeled their pain into purpose, honoring Shauna's memory by working to prevent similar tragedies from happening to others. Shauna's story became a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the hidden dangers that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly perfect lives. It shattered the illusion of safety and security, forcing people to confront the uncomfortable reality of domestic violence. Her case highlighted the importance of recognizing the warning signs, of speaking out against abuse, and of supporting victims. The media attention surrounding Shauna's case shed light on the prevalence of domestic violence, a silent epidemic affecting countless individuals and families. It sparked conversations, challenged societal norms, and encouraged victims to come forward and seek help. Shauna's story, though tragic, became a catalyst for change, a beacon of hope in the darkness. Her memory lived on in the hearts of those who loved her and in the countless lives touched by her story. The Shauna Tiaffay Foundation, through its tireless advocacy and support services, became a lifeline for victims, offering them a path to healing and empowerment. Shauna's legacy, forged in tragedy, became a testament to the power of human resilience and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Shauna's story, though rooted in the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, transcended the city's neon lights. It became a universal tale of love, loss, betrayal, and the fight for justice. Her case highlighted the importance of education, awareness, and early intervention in breaking the cycle of domestic violence. It underscored the need for societal change, for a world where victims are not afraid to speak out and where abusers are held accountable for their actions. Shauna's family, through their unwavering commitment to her memory, became powerful advocates for change. They shared their story on national platforms, their voices amplified by the media, reaching millions of people. Their message was clear. Domestic violence is everyone's responsibility. Silence is not an option. We must all be vigilant, speak up against abuse, and support victims in their journey to healing and justice. Shauna's legacy extended far beyond the courtroom walls. Her story inspired countless individuals to take action, to volunteer their time, to donate to organizations supporting victims of domestic violence. It sparked a movement, a collective determination to create a safer world, free from fear and abuse. Shauna's memory became a rallying cry, a symbol of hope and resilience for victims and their families. The fight against domestic violence is far from over. It requires a sustained collective effort from individuals, communities, and institutions. We must challenge the societal norms that perpetuate silence and stigma. We must educate ourselves and others about the warning signs of abuse, the dynamics of power and control, and the resources available to victims. We must support organizations like the Shauna Tiaffay Foundation, organizations working tirelessly on the front lines to provide shelter, counseling, legal aid, and advocacy for victims. We must hold abusers accountable for their actions, ensuring that justice is served and that victims receive the protection and support they deserve. Let Shauna's story be a call to action. Let us honor her memory by creating a world where love is not a weapon, where homes are safe havens, and where every individual is treated with dignity and respect. Let us break the silence, shatter the stigma, and stand together to end domestic violence once and for all. Shauna's legacy, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, will continue to inspire us, to guide us, and to remind us that even in the darkest of times, hope endures.